We're doing story time. We're doing it on van. How about that? And you're actually looking down the scoop. That's the view from me driving. So now you're looking at me. So this will be the camera that's in the car. And I thought, why not try it out for story time, see how good the volume is. Backup noise, all that stuff. I'm sorry if behind me, this whole area back here, right there, sorry if that is washed out from the light because, there's tons of light. Anyway, story time. I've been thinking about a lot of them lately. And I want to talk to you about one that this kind of been bugging me. So, people's integrity, like just integrity in general, but people's integrity, and how little it costs to buy someone's integrity. Which I know it sounds kind of meek and or not meek, but it sounds like, what's the word I'm looking for? It sounds like I'm complaining and being mean. It's not really what that is. I'm putting my drink down. That's my smoothie anyway. That's my lunch. I'm getting adjusted. So, okay, this story is about a Model A that I bought. So I bought correct that. No, I did actually pay for it. So this is when I was in Idaho, and I was with my buddy Jose, and we went out to the swap meet in Emmett swap meet. And so we got there early, like really early, like when the swap meet opens, like super early. I think at like 6:30, 7 people were setting up, and vendors were getting ready to go in. And outside, before we even got set up, I'm standing there at the gate, and we run into a buddy of Jose's that we both knew, and he's got this Model A sedan. It was black, had a small block in it, like T-bucket headers, kind of a hot rod. Not a rat rod, but kind of like a, primer gray, had some flames on it. It was kind of I don't even know what year this was. This is probably, it's like a 31 Model A, but this is probably, I don't know how old I was at the time. I'm going to say early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. So I'm out there with Jose, and we're running to this guy, we're talking to him. He's got this car in the trailer, and it's got in like shoe polish the price for the car and a phone number. And I was like, man, that's a decent price. I think I know someone that would want it. And so I contacted another guy I was building cars and working on and stuff, and I said, hey, I don't really want this Model A, but you might want it. And he said, you know what, I think I want it. That sounds like a good price, so go ahead and buy it. So I had my checkbook with me, so I bought the car, gave the guy the check and everything, and he's like, all right, man. And so he he said, I'll pull it off to the side. Why don't you take off the trailer? Pulled the for sale sign off it, everything. And he had a bunch of stuff on his back of his truck to sell, parts for like a swap meet. And I was like, all right, I'll pick it up. You guys can let the check clear the bank. And this is like on a Friday or a Thursday. And I said, I'll pick it up on a Monday. He said, sounds good. The car belonged to his sister, it turned out. So later that night, I think it was Friday night, they have like a car show, like not a car show, but I guess they have like a car show in the park, and they have like a cruise. Everybody cruises Maine in this small town. And we're talking a lot of people from around, surrounding cities and stuff, the Boise area, with hot rods come into the small town of Emmett. And so it's a long cruise, and you're not allowed to do any burnouts, although people do it all the time, and it's a good time. So we're hanging out there watching, and I forget how, I either got a phone call or I got a phone call, I think it was, or maybe Jose called me. Somebody called me and said, hey man, they were meeting us at the car show because they wanted to give me my check back. And I'm like, what? Why would you give me the check back? I bought the car. He's like, oh, it turns out my sister sold the car to somebody else, earlier in the day. And I was like, earlier in the day, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, the sun wasn't even up. Like, it wasn't much earlier in the day. And I know that nobody bought it other than me. And so I'm talking to this guy, and it turns out that he even tried talking his sister out of this thing. What had happened was the phone, so the price was on the side of the car, right? And so was the phone number. Well, the phone number wasn't my buddy, wasn't Jose's buddy's number. It was the owner of the car, the sister. So somebody was there at the show and saw the number, could have been standing there in the crowd waiting to get in and heard me buy the car and heard how much I paid for it and called him up and offered her more money. And what happens is it turned out he offered her like $500 more than what I paid for it. And the brother tried to like tell her, you can't do that. Like, that's just, like, that, you can't do that. That's like a friend of mine's friend. I mean, that's just not the way you handle business. And, you know, I was like, you know what, man, it's just a shame you can buy someone's integrity for $500. He's like, I know it. He's like, she's not normally like this, but, you know, he's like, they'd never had any kind of money before. So $5,000 or whatever, or 10 grand or 3,000 or whatever, you know, is a lot of money for, you know, somebody. And I was like, yeah, no, I get it. You know, I understand it. But, you know, it turns out, so as we're at the car show or at the drive-in later that night, watching the cars go by, she was there. And she happened to be standing next to me as I was talking to the guy, and I didn't know it was her. And she heard the whole conversation and all that stuff, which, you know, I got a little bit of vindication and justification out of it. You know, saying I bought her and taken her for $500. But, you know, at the same time, you know, I can also understand she's got kids and stuff like that. And, you know, extra $500 can go a long way, especially way back when. That was a lot of money. But still, integrity's integrity. You know, and there's certain things that you should never do. You should never cheat or lie. You know what I mean? Or steal. Stealing and lying and cheating are like, they're all forms of the same low. You know what I mean? And for you young guys watching this thing, don't lie. Because the problem with lying is you don't remember what you said. If you tell the lie to a bunch of people and then it's hard to remember what you told people and you get caught up in it, it's just easier to tell the truth. Because it's easy to remember. The truth is something that actually happens, easy to remember. And I'm too lazy to try and think about it, and I don't lie very good. I'm not good at it, so I don't do it. Same with like exaggerating. Like exaggerating something out, like it doesn't make you look any better, and it's not true, so it's the same thing. Or like cheating. Cheating on something, just be honest. Honesty goes a longer way. And the last one is thieving, stealing stuff. Like, if you look at the Instagram thing, my buddy Gil down there at the Hot Rod Ranch, he posted up something on Instagram about somebody's trailer and race car got stolen. This is the one they use at like El Mirage or, you know, land speed stuff. And their trailer got stolen. Somebody hooked up to it, took off with the trailer and race car, and are whipping down, you know, California freeway with it. And he like put out like an APB. Anybody sees this thing, let me know. So I put that up, took a picture of this thing and put it up there because thieving's like the lowest of the low. You know what I mean? You steal somebody's hard-earned, they worked hard for their money. You know, you don't know someone's background. They may have scrimped and saved their whole life to buy that thing, and now they're living their dream, and somebody comes along and just takes off with it. That's just not right. You know what I mean? It's like a little kid, you know, Christmas present or whatever, and he's like wished for a bicycle his whole life, and some neighbor kid steals it. You know, like it's uncalled for. If it's not yours, keep your hand off it. You know what I mean? And if it's not true, don't let it come out of your mouth. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, story time. Roll bar. It's in. And you guys have a good weekend. I'll talk to you later.